Hi everybody, this is Sam with Python Basics, and we're going to be starting a new series about data structures. And today's video is going to be concentrated on the list data structure. So, all right, you may have heard me refer to this as a container. But we're kind of moving on and really stepping up our complexity. But it's truly a data structure because it holds data and it has methods of operation, so methods, and we're going to look at all these. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. So if you're new here, thanks for joining us. This is what we do. We do videos on topics and we dive very deep. So this is going to be a little bit longer than normal, but it's going to be all-encompassing. So how in the world, what is a list and how do we go around initializing it? So there are a couple of ways. So we can just hit up and hit our square brackets. So we have a list, and to prove that I know what I'm talking about, we type, we use the type function on our variable list. So, and if you're truly new, let's just jump into it. So I'm assigning a list, assigning it to the variable x. And now we can do help on, and actually let's show another way. So just like this, since this is an object, everything in Python is an object. So here is a way that we can also, wow, sorry about my typing today, everybody. And so, boom. So you can also then look at the variable and bleh. So this just throws up everything. Let's bring this over here. Everything associated. What is the documentation for our list? And a list is an iterable. Okay, here's another very important term. So these two terms are extremely important, iterable and mutable. And we'll delve into this because there are some that are immutable Python objects. So all right, we just ran, what did we do? We did help on X. We can also do help on list. I get these same results because, like we found earlier, yeah, you can see that. Python doesn't care. It knows, it sees this variable, it goes, ooh, I know what this is. I'm going to go into memory. This is a list, and you wanted help with that. I spit out everything associated with this object. So now let's take a look at the methods. And these are in alphabetic order. So append, I love append. It is very, very useful. It appends object to the end of the list. Now, these are all methods. You heard me say method of operation. So methods. Now, these are not functions. They are then associated. So this, since this is my object, this is my list object, this is how I use it. So I use dot notation and I call it. So that was append. Now here's how we can then slice this down, and I call help on my object X, which is a list, and then I say, hey, there was a append method, dot append, then this brings this out just like so. So it says, okay, you just want to look at this one portion. So now let's just go ahead and create a list real fast. So we have, let's just do new. So we have X, Y, and then I'm going to wrap, just like I showed you with Y. If you haven't seen the range function, that's cool. I'll put a link down below for that. All right, so I can literally wrap a range function so that now new is a list of 4 objects, which happens to be 0, 1, 2, 3, because range spits out 4, and we'll look at this. So now what is very, very powerful about the list the list data structure is we can manipulate it. That was that term mutable. And it is an iterable, so we can iterate through it. But then one of the things that is wonderful is we can slice it up. And we use our colons. And it's a start, stop, step. So it uses index. And it's a 0 index. So if I look at index 0, I get 0. And I didn't do this on a whim. So I wanted it to match up. Now we can also get this and move these around. So let's do that. So then I go new 3. I will get the third index, the fourth object. We always start at 0. 0 is a number 2. 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. 0, 1, 2, 3. So the fourth item at the third index. So now let's say, and you see this append object. Well, I want to place an object inside this list. So I go new, dot append. Then I'm going to place an object 9. Oops. It looks like nothing happened, right? Well, nope. It does not return, so it will not print out, but it appends it to the list. Now, there was discussion, I think I did a video on it. What's the difference between extend and append? Well, extend adds something to the end of it. So let's look at that. Let's do new dot extend. Now, you place an iterable, extend list by appending elements from the iterable. So you may say, well, that's the same. Well, no, and I'll show you why. Append places it inside the list. We'll go inside the index. Now, extend basically adds it to the end and moves on. So here, I'll show you. So we'll do new dot extend. And if I were to place a 1, 2, 3, so close that out, close this, call new. So see, this went and extended it. Now I'm going to do this again, but with append, and I'll show you the difference. This will actually take this and place it inside the list of a list. So, all right, let's just, picture's worth 1,000 words. So new dot append, then 1, 2, 3. Close that out. Now let's call new. See the difference? So instead of extending the list of the objects inside, this takes, append takes the whole object and just places it at the last index. So now I've shown you how Python uses 0 indexing. Now I want to show you negative indexing. This is very interesting. So we can't utilize 0 again. So 0 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now also, so now new is this elongated list with a list as its last object. And actually, let's talk about len for a second. So the len function, so we showed you help, showed you type. Now let's just look at len, what len does. Len returns the number of items in a container. Well, like I used, this data structure is also a container. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is one object. So now I run len on new 9. You might say, well, how in the world? So I'm going to bring this all together, and we're going to look at the last. So I could do 0. I could do index 8 because it starts at 0. So index 8 is the last object. But now, let's say you don't want to have to mess with this. You just know you have a list and you know you just appended something to it and you want to look at the last object in the list. This is where Python is very cool. Negative indexing. It spits out and goes in reverse, just like negative time, a negative number line. It goes in reverse. So since 0 is already utilized, we can't use 0 back here. So it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way to the end and then counts backwards. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So if I counted right, -5 should be 9. So let's type that in. All right, bingo. So there we go. So now, okay, all right, let's keep moving. We've already gotten a lot. We've done extend. We've done here. Let's just look at help on list. All right. Ooh, sort. Just saw it right here. Now, here's some other terms in place. So reverse in place. All right, what in the world? So sort. So now I have new. Okay, so then if I run help on new dot sort, what does this do? Okay, sort the list in ascending order and return none. Okay, so this is super important. Returns none. So you cannot assign this method to a new variable because it will return none. It won't create anything. It does this in place. So I'll show you. So now here's new. So when I run new on sort, run sort on new. Now I could pass in stuff, but right now we are just doing this. Oh, and I forgot something super important, that everything needs to be like and for sorting. So now let's actually look at let's look at pop first. Pop is very cool. So new dot, and again, you don't have, this is a perfect example, you don't have to remember everything. You have documentation. So all right, don't be afraid to search things and look things up. So all right, let's do new dot pop, because this has some interesting functionality. Remove and return. So okay, that is interesting terminology. Remove and return item at index, and it defaults to -1. So this is already our problem, so we want this out. So let's just do new dot pop. And I know I'm going over this pretty fast, but Python doesn't know how to handle this right now because all these others are ints, and it's saying, hey, how do you want to sort this? So we need to pop this out. And pop defaults to the -1 index, and we just learned negative indexing. This is so, but this returns this, so you could actually grab, I could have assigned a new variable to this list. So now when I run new, here we go. So I have this feature right here. And as you can see, sort did work up into where it hit an error. So it sorted our list and then threw an error right there. So we already have our sorted list. So now let's look at the one that was right above it. List reverse. Now let's look at this. Now I'm going to redo a list to really show this. So when I do new dot reverse, it's going to reverse my list, and it helps if you only type. And this also did this in place. Does not return anything new. Now, reverse does not reverse sort. So let's make a new list. let's do y. Y is already 1. T. T equals 3, 5, 1, 9, 0. Now, let's bring this back up. So now I'm going to run reverse. It's not going to do it in this. I'm doing this kind of to be mean, but to prove a point. You might say, well, you just reverse this. So reverse does reverse sort from in descending order. No, this just flipped the list around, and we already put it in ascending. So now this just is back and forth. But now let's run reverse on T. So I will get 09153. All right, 09153. It literally just flips this around. So now let's look at the remainder of these. All right. Now, you can then do a reverse in descending order with this reverse option. So right now, sort is set to, it is defaulted to false. So you want this in reverse, false, so it will do it in ascending order. Now you can change this to true, and it will change this to descending. So now we've looked at sort, we've looked at reverse, we've looked at pop, we've looked at extend, and we've looked at append. So we have clear, copy, count, index, insert, remove. So we still have quite a few to look at. So let's look at count first. So we have new. Where was new? So new has 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3, 3. Wow. Okay. So new dot count. Let's run help on count. Help on list dot count. Return number of occurrences of value. So the value. So what do I want to look for? I want to look for a count. I want you to count. I want Python to count the occurrences of 2. 2. Then 3. And then 0. So this seems to be working. We have 2 occurrences, and then 1 occurrence. Now, what is insert? What does insert do? Okay, well that seems a little bit self-explanatory. Insert. Okay, insert object before index. Before index. So literally what this does is it says, I'm going to put it here and slide it over. So this needs to take the index first. So let's read this, because I like this one, because you have to give it an index, then pass in the object, and then it works. So we got new right here. So I want whatever we're going to place in here. Let's place in 4. So I want 4 to go right here at index 0, but before it. So all right, does that make sense? So all right, and we're going to give you an example of the before. All right, so new dot insert. Okay, so I need to pass it index 0, and then we said 4, correct? All right, so let's call new. So all right, so you might say, well, okay, it just goes at index. Well, all right, let's pass it index -1. So how did this say? Insert object before -1. So it's not going to be -1. It's going to insert before. So this is going to go, we're going to pass 5. So it's going to go 1, 1, 5, 0. Let's just look at it. Insert -1, 5. All right. It's not going to go at index. It's going to go at, however you want to think about this, old index -1, or literally right here in between -1 and -2. However you want to think about it. Same thing with this. We can rephrase this. So this is going to go in between the beginning of the list and index 0. All right. So now let's call new. Boom. right here in between. So this was -1, this was -2. It's going to go right here in between. So now it did not get placed at index -1. It got placed before index -1. Now, all right. We looked at slicing and indexing, or excuse me, we looked at indexing. Now let's look at slicing. So same principles of slicing with strings. Start, stop, step. So if I go new, then, wow, cannot type today. So right now, this gets me the entire list because I gave it no parameters, and I like to start here to prove a point. So now, if I leave this blank, it starts at the beginning. So now 5. Now this is start is inclusive, stop is exclusive. So right up in 2, but not including. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but not including. So I will get 49332. 49332 because it is these 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So now I start at 1, index 1. So now this will be 9332. Okay. So now let's go blank, blank, 2. So start at the beginning, go to the end, but this is every other one. So start at the beginning. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, 5. 4, start at the beginning, skip, 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 and skip, and there is no last one here, so it is excluded. That is indexing. So now this is what is super cool. All right, let's look at help.list.index. Okay, return first. This is very important. Return first index of value. So new. So this one right here. So I have 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. So now when I pass in new index, then the value, so I want to find 9. It's index 1. All right, so now I want to find 2. So new, and to prove to you that it is the first index, we will be changing some things up. So now I want to find 2. So index 4. All right, so now so we know this is the only 9, so it has to be index 1. Now, you might say, well, how do we know which one of these is this index 4? Well, like I told you, lists are mutable, so we can change them. And this is what is very, very cool. So now I want to change index 4, and let's change it to 23. So to prove to you that, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, we are changing this now to 23. Because I'm telling Python, hey, I know new is a list, and I know it can be indexed, and I want to now assign index 4 of this list to 23. Boom. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Since a list is mutable, I can go in and change a specific object content at that index to whatever I would like. So, all right. We got a couple more. Where did we leave off? List. Let's see. I think we got remove. We need to do remove. That's pretty self-explanatory. We just did count, copy, clear. So we're down to just a few more. All right. New. All right. Now, I want you to watch this. help on new.remove. This is the same as index, the first occurrence. It will not remove all occurrences of the value that you pass in, just the first. So right now, this is going to get, let's get rid of 3. So new.remove 3. So now this first one got removed. So now I have 23.211. All right. Clear is, well, I want to save that for last because it will completely clear the list. So we have what is left. We did extend, we did count, copy. So, like I was saying, that if we want to sort a list, it's not going to return, it's not going to return anything. So let's do new underscore 2 equals new dot copy. So now I have new and new underscore 2. All right, we're not going to get into is this the same right now, but I just created a new list. So then if I'm going to sort new, I have new, and then I have my new 2, where if I wanted to go back, because I cannot unsort, I cannot put it back to where it was. So you make a copy of these things. Now, so let's see, we got help.list. All right, we are down to clear, and it's pretty self-explanatory. All right, so literally new dot clear. Well, let's run help on it. We've been running help on everything else. List dot clear. Close that out. Remove all items from list. So here we go, and it's done. Boom, new. I'm back to having an empty list, but like we were very wise before, we made a copy of it. So here we are, and we go from there. So pretty long video today, but as you can see, we are going to be talking about these data structures going forward this week. And as always, guys, please drop any comments, questions, video requests. Make sure you're jumping over to the Discord server. Stay in tune until the end to watch all these videos. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you really enjoyed today's video. And if you haven't, check out this video right here or this one right down here. And most important, make sure you're hitting this subscribe button and the notification bell. Thanks again for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.